Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How you doing, Bruce? Can I call you Bruce?
Sir?
What do you prefer?
Bruce. Oh, no, Bruce. Jesus Christ. Don't call me.
Well, it's a pleasure. Thanks for doing this over the phone. It can be kind of strange and awkward to do these over the phone, so at least for me, so I appreciate it. How's it been going with the press today?
It's limited, at least for me. I mean, the little girl, Lexy, she's already been to Paris, for Christ's sake, for this movie, and to the Toronto Film Festival for this movie. And she's just about to be 10, but she was 8 when we worked with her.
Oh, that the lead, this Lexy Kolker, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was actually pretty good. I mean, I'm supposed to talk about you, I think, and say how good you are. That's what I'm supposed to do. But we could talk about Lexy, because I can't believe that was her first time. She was she was good. A lot of kids you can see when they don't really know what they're doing. You know, it's very obvious.
Well, they don't have a way of working yet. You know, that hasn't hit them that they got to develop that. And that's the good thing about getting a kid like that, because they don't have bad habits yet. Their worst habit is acting. And you can get them away from acting and just have conversations and let them be in the moment and really talk to me and to whoever she's with in scenes. And that took her about a day before she got into that, and then she was fabulous after that. And she's a great sport. She's not a powder. You know what I mean, she plays a powder in the movie a little bit, but
sure.
She's not at all. She bounces right back. She does everything, they ask her to do directing-wise. Early in the movie, they love to hear her scream and be panicky and do all that stuff. And I had to, caution them and Lexy to not think that you're only about the screaming. You're only about yourself, so don't be afraid to let yourself come out in this role.
Yeah.
You know, Lexy is the character, so let us see Lexy. They cast you as the girl, so they see you as the girl, but they see you as Lexy as the girl, so remember that.
She got your
you
point?
Have a value.
She got your point?
I'm sorry?
She got your point? She understood what you were trying to say, in other words? So she was...
got it right away.
Okay.
I think the word was, I said, they said they saw 1,200 people. I mean, let's cut it in half and say they just saw 600 or 10.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
The point is that whatever they did, she's the one that got the role.
Amazing.
And she got the role basically, I think, because she has, even at 8, a presence. She's there. She's accounted for. Mm-hmm. You're seeing an adult being in an 8-year-old body. Mm-hmm. And she sees everything goes on around her. She is learning how to understand it. And her expertise in set behavior, if you will, all her camaraderie with everybody, and she had a good time. She had fun. The movie should be fun.
It should be, but it's a lot of work and a lot of pressure, because she's in almost every moment of the scene. She's in almost every moment. I mean, it's her point of view, pretty much. It's her perspective.
Right.
You know. So how do you keep your performance fresh? I mean, I can imagine that you are good at, still very strong at memorizing scripts and knowing where you're at in the scene, because you do so much work. You're working probably more than you ever have, I'm guessing. And
yeah, but shit, bud, I'm only 83 years old.
Hey,
I broke my hip last fall, but I'm back running again. I'm about to race again.
You are?
In my age group at 800 and 1,500 meters running. I've been a runner all my life.
You're going to be...
And,
that's great.
So I look forward to... My biggest goal is to attempt stuff and do stuff at an age that people never endured long enough to do regularly.
Yeah.
And I'm always excited about the way people see me.
Yes.
And want to cast me. And so that's a challenge in itself, you know.
I agree with you. Yeah, go ahead.
I was destined to do a career of killing John Wayne. You know, when I got over that.
Yeah, that could have killed anybody's
career.
career.
Oddly enough, they never got over it. I mean, every day I guess somebody comes up to me, "You killed my buddy."
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and so I've done good. But particularly also, I think Miss Kazan told me early on in my career that no one would really get to know who I was in movies as an entity until I was in my 60s. And I was 24 when he told me that. And so he said, just you have a unique style.
Mm-hmm.
So stick with that style and be honest. Always make the characters real. So I developed a background of that, and I've had wonderful roles in my career, throughout. I'm not belaboring the fact I actually didn't enjoy being a guy to carry a movie as much as I do being part of a team in a movie.
Mm-hmm. But also,
right,
yeah.
A lot of times I got roles because I was the 11th or 12th choice, and 11 guys turned it down before me. So I got it. Actually, in Silent Running, I was the 17th choice.
Were you?
They started with Paul Newman and ended up with me.
Who was the first choice? That didn't bother you?
No, I don't bother me. I mean, come on, how many thousands of people are there? It is, like you said at the beginning, it's an endurance contest.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is. It's not a contest, but I mean, this business is about endurance, no matter what area of it you're in front of the camera, behind the camera, anything else. And if you protect something that you've always believed in, which is the truth, in movies and characters, then you're in good shape. So that's what I've been trying to do, and they suddenly come to realize, hey, he's not uninteresting, and at times he's even amusing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yet when I look back on my career, I did Smile, that was a comedy. I did Support Your Local Sheriff, that was a comedy.
Yes.
I mean,
don't leave out The Trip.
Oh, well, The Trip and Psycho Savages and Wild Angels. And, we were very lucky early on because none of us finished college. I mean, in my age group, Dennis or Jack or me or Dean Stockwell or,
right.
The group of us,
Peter,
Jimmy Kahn and so on and so on.
Peter Fonda.
But we're lucky because we got to go to the University of Corman.
Right. Roger Corman.
That was an education.
I imagine.
I mean, my first set for Roger, our camera operator was Francis Coppola. The focus puller was Jonathan Demme. The prop man was Joe Dante.
Joe Dante. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's, it was a school. And Roger was a professor. And I remember asking him in 1966 on The Wild Angels, how many movies have you done? He said, this is my 100th.
And you had done maybe how many?
This is 56 years ago.
Right.
And he's still going.
I know. It's incredible. He did this podcast too, Bruce. Roger Corman. I spoke with Roger Corman. He agreed to come on to this podcast. He was in New York City where I am. And he was at a hotel. And I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to hook up with Roger. And I knew where he was staying. And I waited in the out in the lobby for him, and I ambushed the poor guy. But he couldn't have been nicer,
Oh, not only nice, but
smart.
He's got a sense of humor.
Yes, he does.
And he has a great tendency to want to be every man, and I admire that about him because one of the three things that really bothers me in the history of my career. That nobody ever gave Roger Corman more than $1 million
mm-hmm.
to make a movie. I don't mean salary. I mean just budget. It's not really right.
No.
And you sit down, you talk to people like Coppola or David Lynch or whoever the people may be, Jonathan Demme and all when he was here. They all go back to the school of Corman.
Do these guys? Sorry to interrupt you, Bruce. I apologize for interrupting. I was just wondering,
Jonathan Demme died.
I know. That was crushing. What an enormous talent. When you're on the set, like with these directors of Freaks, which, by the way, is opening September 13th, we should plug that for sure. Zach Zlapovsky and Adam Stein, they must be worshiping you and Roger Corman's films. I mean, I have to imagine that they knew exactly who you were and were in your background to a great extent, right?
Well, I mean, they created Corman. You know, I mean, they know who he was. They know he's a cornerstone of where they're at and where they want to go.
That's right.
The thing that was exciting to them about me, to me, about them, is the fact that they're still daring to dream. They're trying to, nobody invented the wheel here, you know. We've all seen what it does. The guys and girls that are willing to go back. And the one thing I miss now in movies more than anything else, there's not enough respect for what went before.
That's what I was trying to get at, yeah.
The directors we're talking about have huge respect for what went before.
Great.
And it's the one thing, and I miss it in actors more than I do in, I don't think any actor should sit down and study another actor's work. You might sit down and look at a style. In other words, are they consistently believable? Are they consistently... there's one thing to be watchable. That's what a movie star is. Consistently watchable. Mm-hmm. But consistently believable. Do you always believe the characters and things? And that's what Roger did that nobody gives him credit for. He hired really good actors, but nobody knew it yet. And we were in drive-in movies. But he gave us above the billing title. He gave us an opportunity to have starring parts. And they showed in drive-ins.
And an enormous paycheck on top of that.
Well, not enormous for us.
I know.
But and we worked for, like, when you work for Roger, you work for $250 a day for 10 days. That was $2,500. And he made it in 10 days, and he made the movie for $250,000.
Right.
The whole movie.
Yes.
And that's what's fun about these guys. These guys didn't have a lot of money to make Freaks. My God, if they had $1 million, I'd be shocked.
So you find alternative ways of doing what you're trying to do. Instead of the expensive route, you just go a different route, but one that works really well, and then you don't notice that it looks like you're saving money.
Well, that's the Corman institution.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Interesting.
Find a way to get it done and make it look like you had all the money in the world.
Well, Well, it was fun to see you in a science fiction film. I haven't seen you since Silent Running, which you mentioned at the start. So it was kind of fun to see you, in this type of film. It's very, very different. I also saw you recently in the Peanut Butter Falcon, which I enjoyed your comedic work in there.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think when you think Silent Running was made over 50 years ago,
it's shocking.
It still holds up today.
Absolutely.
And yet I have people come up to me and said, that lady that sings in there, Joan Baez, who is that? Oh, my God. And people also, Peter Schickley, who did all her music and stuff and organized.
Yes.
People say, well, what's his trivia? Well, he won a Grammy. Do you remember what he won a Grammy for? I don't know how old you are, so maybe you wouldn't. But he won a Grammy because he did PDQ Bach.
Oh, right. Okay, yes, I do remember that, sure. PDQ Bach. Nobody talks about that band anymore, but of course it was huge in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, I want to make sure people know they can go see it in, let's see, Freaks is, I know it's in New York, and L.A., I assume. I assume it's playing at least in New York City and Los Angeles as of Friday, September 13th.
Yeah, they're opening in 100 cities.
Oh, in 100 cities?
Yeah.
100 cities.
But might just be one, isn't it 100 cities? Huh? Theaters.
100 theaters. Oh, that makes more sense. Okay.
100 theaters.
Okay, so let me rephrase. On Friday, September 13th, Freaks, starring Emile Hirsch and Bruce Dern, and a brand new Lexy Kolker will be opening in 100 theaters across the country.
So don't forget Emile Hirsch.
No, I said Emile Hirsch and Bruce Dern.
Yeah,
I put him above your name even, which was risky on my part.
Well, that's okay.
Okay, thanks.
And he and I are in another movie at the same time.
Oh, is that right? Are you allowed to plug it?
Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Oh, well, of course. Yeah, of course. How could I have forgotten?
He plays Jay Sebring.
Right. It's tremendous. You said that many of the actors don't remember you, but clearly there's a generation of filmmakers that do, because Tarantino is another obviously major champion of yours.
Oh yeah.
As you know, you're doing some of the best.
I've worked for 6 directing geniuses, and not in order of who's the best or anything. It would be Mr. Kazan, Mr. Hitchcock, Douglas Trumbull, Francis Coppola, Alexander Payne, and Quentin Tarantino. And I'm leaving out Hal Ashby, John Frankenheimer, Michael
Bob
Ritchie.
Rafelson?
Yeah.
Who is?
And, Bob Rafelson. And I leave them out because those 6 that I named, their approachability on the set for any member of the crew at any time during the day to come up and ask them anything they want is amazing. Mm-hmm. The other people were a little more closed off and secretive than that. But these guys, they're all professors. Any one of them could take over a class and teach it tomorrow. I really enjoy your enthusiasm, though. Thank you so much for your interest.
Oh, I'm so happy to have been able to talk to you, if not meet you. Can you do one last thing? It's very quick, and I'll get off the phone, I promise. The name of this podcast is called Filmwax Radio. And can you just say something along the lines of, this is Bruce Dern and you're listening to Filmwax Radio? Is that possible?
Oh, yeah. Filmwax is in WAX.
That's right. FILMWAX. Filmwax.
Yeah, no, this is Bruce Dern, and I'm delighted to come to you on Filmwax Radio. And I feel it's a pleasure to be able to express some of the thoughts that this guy who's done amazing homework on me just asked me to do. So
that means a lot. Thank you. And I hope to meet you soon. Take care. Bye-bye, Bruce. Take care. Good luck. Bye-bye. Bruce Dern says I did my homework.